Hey everybody, it's Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard of Codeless AI Automation. And today it's Friday. I figured I'd have a little bit of fun with a brand new platform tool that I discovered yesterday, thanks to Joe Colantonio's Automation Guild. And that is called Thunders.ai. I saw a demo of it yesterday. It looks really cool. And I thought, you know what? That would be a great tool to try the Candymapper Challenge. So let's get started over here. The first thing I'm going to do is describe what is the Candymapper Challenge. Candymapper Challenge is this. It's basically 8 to 10 steps that you perform against my website. My website is candymapper.com. You just simply go to candymapper.com over here, click on, and it'll have a pop-up the first time you hit it. And it'll describe what you need to do for the Candymapper Challenge. And that is, first of all, close this pop-up by clicking that X up there. The second one says populate the contact field. Verify any success message. And then you might want to try the test on candymapper.net. You might notice that there might be a error message, a misspelled word. Instead of a message, it's a massage, which, is very relaxing. The message is the word is misspelled in there intentionally, and that is basically, that's the whole game of the Candymapper website. There are bugs throughout the whole system, and if you want to have a little fun bug hunting, go and find as many as you can. There are about 11 issues in the website, and there are 8 horror movie references that are throughout the website. So have yourself a little bit of fun. And now that we've done that, I'm going to walk you through the steps to do the Candymapper Challenge. And then we're going to try and let Thunders see if it can complete it. So what we're going to do here first, it said, is close this pop-up. So we'll close it by clicking on the X. And the next was to go down and populate the fields that are in the contact list, okay? We only need to do one of them. So I'm going to do PAUL. And by the way, I see somebody watching us. So let me see a big shout out to you over on Facebook. Thank you for watching, whoever you are. By the way, I do have a chat. You can chat with me. You can put up comments. You can have, that's a sample comment over there. So if you want to chat with me, I'm more than happy to have an interaction. I'll try to keep my eyeballs on the chat, keep you entertained. Now, back to what we were talking about, the Candymapper Challenge. Just fill in one field. That's our third step. The first one was navigation. Second was to close the pop-up. Third was to go and put in the poll. Fourth one is click on the submit button. Then once we hit the submit button, the fifth thing is do our first of 2 validations. Verify that please enter a valid email address appears on the screen. And then we'll put in, it doesn't have to be valid. You can put in me@me.com. And we will do that. And I'm going to code. So that's the 5th, 6th one. Then I'm going to go click on the submit button. We want to verify that that message went away. And the other thing we want to do is verify that we will get back to you within 48 years. All right. So website is all set and done. That's our challenge. The next thing I want to do is go over to Thunders.ai, and I've got even a little timer over here. We're going to see how long it takes for me to get those 8 steps to complete, and then how long does it take to run. So that's what we're going to do. By the way, I see 2 people looking in from YouTube. Thank you very much. Again, a reminder, I have a chat open. So if you see a chat, you want to ask me about what I'm doing. If you have a job that you might be looking to have an automation engineer, Phil, I'm actually looking for my next gig, and that's why I do these live sessions every day or so. So getting back to the whole thing, we are going to go over here. We've got Thunders.ai. They've got a whole bunch of different features over there, and I'm going to go and put a description on it. By the way, there's one more thing I'm going to mention over here. See if I've got it. I also have, I've lost them. So I'm going to add this in here, and this is the description of what we are doing. Oh, I got the one person back. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Again, we can chat. So what I'm doing about this is I have now populated this input field with everything that you need to do with the Candymapper challenge. Navigate to the website, clear the pop-up, populate. Boy, Paulie doesn't know how to spell populate. Let's try that again. Populate. We'll do that. The name field under context with Paul. Click on the submit. Verify that we see this message. Enter an email. Verify the email address message no longer appears. Let's say no longer appears. And click the submit button and verify we see this message. I'm going to click on continue. Now at this point, I'm going to start the timer and see how long it takes for us to get to that point. What kind of app? It's a web app over there. And we're going to click on continue. That is Candymapper, Candymapper. We'll do that over there. And we're going to click on continue. Environment name is a staging. This is going to be our staging environment. The URL is www.candymapper.com. We'll put that in there. It's okay. We'll do that. I will go and grab it from here, and we'll just put that in there. That's a good one. And the description is a sandbox website with intentional bugs. Okay. Generate preview. So we're going to let it do that, chug away, see what goes on. All right. So here is our review. We created a review. It is navigate over and do this. First app is Candymapper. It's a web app, and we have the URL. And this is what the preview looks like. It's got the pop-up just as we had. So we're going to go and create that project. And it's generating test cases. So the project was created over there. And now we are going to add a new test case. We got Thunders Copilot. We can record steps or we can create an empty test case. Since we're going to do this, we'll let Copilot do it later. We'll come over here and say record steps. All right, we are recording the steps. We're in the staging environment, Candymapper. Looks like that they can do Chromium and Chrome. Chromium, I understand that. This is the resolution that we are looking at, 1920 by 1080. And let's take a look over here. 1920 by 1080. That is the standard screen size for my laptop, which is the screen down here. You're looking at my widescreen over here. So we can bring up other stuff up on the screen. And this is saying, where are we located at the timing? I'm going to say we're based in New York. There are some advanced settings. Let's take a look at those. JavaScript, you cannot disable JavaScript. Okay. Element highlighting, that's cool. All right. I think we're all cool with this. Custom headers. I think we're going to start the recording. So we are now showing the browser out here. The browser is going to mimic, as I said, the size of the screen of a standard laptop. And there we are. So it's getting over there. Browser recording your interactions. So we're, looks like I got 15 minutes to complete this. And it's saying go to this Candymapper, click the image in the main content area. I'd like to maybe refresh because it was up there for a moment. I'm going to pause this. There we go. Okay. We paused. We got this. Okay, we're going to resume. And we should get that screen back. Let's hopefully get that screen back as we go against the Candymapper website. I saw it just for a moment. I'm going to go and see if I can hit the refresh on this. We'll hit pause on that. It's nice that I can see it. I have an alarm going off. Okay. Now, if I put pause on there, can I add a new step? Okay. I I will resume. That's interesting. The recorder isn't letting me see the screen. Can I go a little smaller? Okay, I can center. This is kind of cool. All right. I got 14 minutes to finish this. Well, I think we'll pause it and see what happens if we go and click on this button up here. It says all done. So I can't actually click on that button, but I guess we could. What I can do is resume, and let's see if we can just refresh the page. I think it said we could add an AI step. Refresh page. Let's add that and see what the AI does. Okay, let's see where we're at. So, it's interesting. Well, we'll see how it does there. What else can we can add a new step? Now it's just entirely AI steps. You can do AI API calls, web step, conditional steps, existing test case, the visual compare. Now all these features we have over here, I actually have another website over here called, which is my test automation checklist. In the test automation checklist, I will put that and share that out there. I'll paste that. All right. And this is the web list over there that you can go and check this out. All right, so we're taking about 6 minutes to try and complete this. Okay, we have the screen and we are running. I kind of missed it, so I'm going to go click on that X over there. All right, there we go. Looks like the refresh page worked. Next, we're going to scroll down. And I'm just scrolling down. That's cool. So we're scrolling down. We're going to go to the first name. We're going to put in Paul. We're going to click submit. We want to verify this. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do that, but I'm going to go and copy that. And we're going to go add a AI step, verify. Put that in quotes. Verify appears on screen. We'll add that in there. And this is doing a control C. I think we can, I was hoping we could be able to delete that, but I guess we can't. All right, no problem. So now we will put in the email, me@me.com. And I did not spell it correctly. We'll subtract a few seconds for that. All right, there we go. I'll click on the other ones and I'll click on the submit button. I like that this has got a large screen. I've seen other tools that just do not have it. And then we will add a final step. We'll add a new step, AI step, conditional existing visual compare step, file compare. So I guess I will just say verify. Let's go get we will get back to you in 48 years. Appears on screen. And we'll add that. And we'll end the session. Save steps. Now, the next thing is we can go and edit this. So we're at 8 minutes to get this done. Test preview will happen over here. So let's go execute it without making any modifications. See exactly what happens. They're preparing the test environment. See how long that takes. And then we will type. Boy, look at this. I've totally messed up that email. Well, I think it got it there. Okay, there it is. It's got this. So I went to the Candymapper. Cool. It's going to click the image in the main contact area. That's clicking on the X in the upper right-hand corner. It has highlighted the image, but I suspect it has clicked in the center. So it's now saying, click the close pop-up icon and then scroll through the page. And it looks like it did not click that X. So we're going to have to come back to it and get it. Now, here's the thing I do like. It's attempting to do a scroll. Oh, it did click it and cleared it. All right, cool. All right. This step doesn't interact with the type. This doesn't interact with the browser. Okay. What does this say? Scroll down 51% of the page. Unprocessable action. Can I adjust this? Oh, I can. Look at that. I like that. All right. So the next thing is attempting to type PA into first name input field in the user information form. It did it. It got it there. Cool. Now there's a couple extra things that says input Paul. So we're going to come back and clear it. And you know what? We'll just call this once this is complete, because I think it's actually being successful. The only issue is that when I was typing it in, it was adding a whole bunch of extra steps. So we'll let it continue on over here. While looking at that, I believe I looked at it. It did say that this, let's go take a look and see if I've got it over here. Yes, I've got Thunders.ai. So this is the Thunders.ai automation features that I know of so far. I know it works under Chrome. I'm going to have to add Chromium under that. And it is clicking the submit button. And it clicks submit, and now it's going to verify that this message is there. So it's actually right-clicking on that. And I'm hoping that once we clear it up and run it a second time, it should be faster. Okay. Don't know that if it works. I think it was Chrome and Chromium. I know that this is straight up HTML over here. Basic actions we were able to go to, we're able to input. We haven't done a select test. We know we can click on a button. We don't know about any of the other things here yet. Submit form, hover over, mouse over. There's our assertions. We should assert that some text appears. Do I have text listed in there? I should have text. PDF database. Hard assert stops test on fail. Hey, we had a fail. What is it? Simulating the control. That doesn't matter. It actually did have a soft assert. I'm going to go with that. Do a soft assert there. The test did continue on a fail because I believe we had a failure up here, but the test continued. So good check marks on that. Cool. And then it is attempting to enter this. I believe we are now at the edit point. We're going to go and clean up this this test. So we're at about 12 minutes, 13 minutes. So we're going to go and clean it up. Scroll down the page, scroll a bit, unprocessable action. So we're going to go and we're going to go delete that. Delete that step. Okay. Oh, and it cleared everything out. All right. All right. So we got a step. We're going to click the close icon, scroll down the page. We're going to delete that. We're going to delete this. We're going to delete this. And we're going to say put Paul in the name. Click the submit button. Click drop us a line. We're going to delete that. Submit button. Please right click on this. We're going to delete that. Please enter a verify this. So we click the submit, then the copy we don't need. I wish there was a checkbox that says, hey, yeah, you don't need it, because The really cool feature that almost everybody would have that I would expect to see is an undo. So I'm going to put undo and version control onto this list and see if it gets added in there. Okay, so we're going to add in. So we are deleting this, deleting this. We are deleting this. We are deleting this. One character at a time. Not really crazy about. Enter meme.meme. Okay, so we're going to delete this. And we're going to delete this. Now we have me at me.com into the field. Okay. Click the sending button on the contact form. I think we want to copy. Click the submit button. Can we copy? There's no copy in there, but I believe we can add stuff in there. So we will go to edit, click on the submit button. We'll do that, save that, and then we will edit this and say submit button on the form. And I think the other thing we wanted to do was to verify that this does not appear on the screen. So we'll go grab this, save that, and we'll inject it here. It's nice. Not appear on the screen. We'll add that in there. Cool. 16 minutes. Add a new cleanup step. Oh, there's a cleanup step and a set. Oh, I like that. I'm going to have to add that to my list. We're going to go execute, see if we get it right. We're at 16 minutes and I'm going to reset. See how long it takes to actually execute the test. So we are launching this. Okay. Click the image area. That one could have been deleted as well, but it did it. Okay. So we're going to close the pop-up widget on the main screen. All right. Input Paul into the first name of the form. Cool. There, it did that. Good. Click the submit button, which is off screen, by the way. It's part of the automation challenge of this website. Found the submit button, is able to click on it. You also notice it says, please verify that enter a valid email appears on the screen. That was off screen, but it was there. Not crazy about highlighting in red. That was a pass. I would like to see that in green rather than red. All right. So we're going to continue on over here. Enter type E in there. Okay, cool. Going to verify a valid email address does not exist up here on the screen. So it is off the screen, but the screen is very large. So I am not surprised that it takes a while for that to do it. All right. And then we'll run it one more time. I'm assuming that once the AI figures out what the elements are, where to find them. Okay, so it's going to click the submit button. And it seems to have found the whole element over here. Did find the submit button. And it's clicking on that. And then we're going to verify that it gets back to this. And then there's a refresh page that does not need to be at the bottom of this. So we're going to pause this here because that was a green. And it did highlight it, but it was off the screen. So it took about 2 minutes, 23 seconds to do that. And I think we're going to do, no, I'm not going to make any more changes. I'm going to reset this. And we are going to click execute for a second time and see if any of that stuff runs any faster because we made no changes and the application is the same, and we'll see how it goes. So there's our screen. And I'll scroll this up so we can see this up there. Okay. And I'll need to add some scroll to this as well. Hey, we got one viewer watching over there, and I can see that I'm getting messages. All right. I'm going to pop that up there. Hey, Eva, how are you doing? She's asking how I am. She says, nice to hear that. I don't know what I was talking about at the time, but we'll definitely do that. So, Eva, are you a test automation engineer? You must be because you're still sitting there looking at me. Let me see. Are you coming in from Twitch? I'm going to take a look at my list over here. Yeah, you are my viewer on Twitch. Thank you very much for joining me and watching this. I'm going to show your comments up on the stage. We'll do that. Hide that over there. So we have completed this. Oh, I've got 2 viewers. I got somebody coming in from YouTube. You can chat with me, and if you want, and ask questions about what I'm doing. In case you don't know, I am testing the Thunders.ai, which comes from France. And look at this. We have just finished this. We've finished it out at 1 minute 45 seconds. I'm not including the refresh page. And that seemed to be pretty, I think that's sped up. I think it was like 2 minutes the last time we did it. So, and by the way, if there's any question, you said nice to hear that. By the way, I'm looking for a job. So if that's what you were talking about, let me know. We're going to clean this up one more time, and then we'll give it one more run. See if we can beat 1 minute 45, because it seems, honestly, it seems a little slow. We're going to delete this. We're not going to click on the image. We're going to close the pop-up because we should have about 10 steps. And we're going to delete this. So I think that's everything. And neat that there's a cleanup step. I'm going to go click on it just to see what it is. It's an AI cleanup step. I'd have to take a look and see how that works. So we're going to go and hit the execute. I will refresh and start again. See how long it takes for that whole test to complete. I'm not sure if I had done it at the beginning, but let's go jump back over here and do a refresh over here. Basically, it was clearing that. I wanted to go down to where I have this. I'll put in PAUL. I will hit submit. I will verify that I can see this message. I'll put in me@me.com, and I verify that I no longer see that message. I click on submit, and I see the message that will be back and get back with you in about 48 years. So it's doing about 52 seconds. And is chugging away. It's typing in the me@me.com into the email field, checking to see if there's any other chats going on. So yeah, Eve, I'm a very chatty, friendly person. So if you want to, chat over here, I will even turn off the comments over there. If you want to chat privately with me, send something private. Sometimes that's the thing. But I do appreciate you sitting here, joining in, taking a look at my all the crazy stuff that I do. This other URL under here, this is the checklist, and you can use this. I will copy that, pop that back up there. That is my checklist. You can go over there, and you can have, and by the way, it depends on what computer you log in at. It will list all of the automation tools. This is a list of every freaking tool that I have ever touched. I'm going to hit pause over here because I went 2 minutes 2 seconds. I was talking too much, and it would be nice if this actually told me how long it took. Not crazy about that. All right, so let me ask you, since you're still here, Eva, would you like to see a different approach with Thunders? Too late. I'm already going to do it. If she said no, then that's on her. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to Thunders. I'm going to go. Here's our pro plan for one member. That's kind of cool. This is my cases. So I test plans, test cases, image selection. Okay. I'm going to go edit that. This is the Candymapper challenge recording. So we saw that recording over there. And we are going to restart our clock. We're going to go to our test cases. I was a big fan if it was long enough to actually show you what's going over here. You got labels. You can actually create labels. That's kind of cool. Oh, we can execute that test directly from here. All right, so we're going to create a new test. New test. So this one is going to be with Copilot. And it's like, what do you want me to do? And what I'm going to do is, by the way, that is the Windows V key. Eva, if you don't know what this is over here, if you're a Windows person, what the clipboard or what the Windows V key does is it has a clipboard memory. It is limited to about 30 or 40 elements, screen captures, but it is nice to have. And I can go back over here and see if I have. I am looking to see where I think I screen captured all the stuff. They verify. This is it here. So I'm going to pop this in here. This is everything that I've got in that generated test case. So I'm going to hit the generate test steps. We'll do that. So we're, let's see, verify that appears, does not appear. That is exactly the same steps as I did. So now Copilot is going out there. And oh, look at that. It's using a variable, app Candymapper URL. I like that. Means that there's variables out there. And validate content. And it basically put it all together. That was, I didn't even have a chance to hit the start. I have to give it 10 seconds. Monkeys. All right. So Eva's still watching over here. Thank you very much. Hanging out with me on a nice Friday. So we're going to have to add 20 seconds to this. I'll even look at the video later on. Probably edit it. Okay. Oh, well, it did this. So let's hit this. Hit the execute. Well, okay, it built it. And I was yammering again. I'm going to restart and we'll see how long it takes to execute. I believe it was a minute 10 was the last one over there. So it is going to, well, it said, well, I guess, yeah, that's right. It doesn't actually show the before and after. It shows the before over here. Again, red outlines, not a big fan of those. And let's see. 36. Okay. Type me at me.com in there. That's cool. Now, what I can do over here is I can actually put in product notes. Candymapper challenge. Build was, I think, about 17 minutes. And the run. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It failed. End of run screen capture captured. Okay. And it got the M of type in the email field. So it kind of, it didn't quite do it there. Candymapper minutes, 17 minutes. Successful run was 1 minute 20 seconds, I'm thinking. The cool thing about this checklist over here, Eva, since you're watching me, is that you can update information with any other tool out there. So I can go test Sigma. And if I come back to Thunders.ai, all the detail that's in there. And by the way, if you go to it, you get your own personal version of it. This is a list that I'm keeping track of that has all of the basic features I would expect a test automation tool to be able to interact with. That's the operating systems and browsers, the framework behind the website that we're testing, React and .NET at the very least, Vue, Angular, and Svelte. And I'm always adding more stuff to this. As I mentioned, the basic actions, we've already validated that we can go to a website, put in an input, and click a button. Assertions, hard assert, stops the test on the fail, does both that. I know that Thunders does that. I'm not sure if it can verify, but can definitely verify that something exists and does not exist. So good on that. By the way, each one of these has a little pop-up, and hopefully you can see it on your screen. Then there's, when we're working with tools like Selenium or QTP, we want to be able to interact with all of these different elements: text, checkboxes, lists, input fields, radio buttons, combo buttons, boxes, buttons and links, images, tables, including the table, the row, the header, and the data inside the cell. Menu and menu items that drop down, sliders, and scroll bars, and a tooltip. That's the very least I want to be able to look at that. For the advanced element classes, we should be able to work with toggles, disabled mode, all this under here. And at the very bottom, I've got Telerik, which is custom objects, and Dev Express, which you can go to a Telerik website and actually see samples of their stuff. Element attributes. These are the attributes that they most commonly use: is a tag, ID, name, and placeholder, and the text that's inside of it. For most advanced, you're looking for an area label, data QA, which I wish I could put over here. That's a custom automation attribute that is identifying an element. And you can even see over here using dedicated QA only attributes. Every one of these guys has got a little thing on it. Your weights, hard-coded. We don't ever want to use that. That's why I've got it in red. Dynamic weights, network idles, at least look for a spinner that's on the screen. And then advanced ones looking for the word loading, the page state, any toast message. That's one of the trickiest things I had in my automation frameworks that I built, was that when I'm waiting for the page to complete building, and if it's taking a while, and I get a toast message, the very next step might be verify you saw this toast message. So the toast message might be up for like 3 or 4 seconds, and you should be able to detect it and catch it if you're inside the wait, waiting for the page to be ready to continue to the next step. And also looking for bad page loads. In that case, it could be just counting how many elements. If there's less than the number of elements on a login page, then you ain't on a good page. It could be blank. Or look for the word error on the page. Speed, different ways of increasing the speed of that, running in headless mode. I don't know what headless versus headed mode. I need to. I'll have to fix that. We'll do that. Parallel execution in multiple browsers and multiple environments running in multiple browsers. Highlighting and screen captures. That, if you're running in headless mode, you can get rid of that just to make it run a little faster. I don't really recommend it because I want to see the results of what was going on, especially if something failed. How much RAM, how much CPU you have on your personal system. This over here, the system you're looking at here, and by the way, I see 2 or 3 people. Someone's looking in from Twitch. That is, hey, Matthias, how you doing, buddy? He came in to just say hello. All right. Cool. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, we're a little late over here, but this is a new tool I came across called Thunders.ai. Matthias, I know I think you're part of the automation group with Joe Colantonio. And even if you're not, you need to go and check out the Automation Guild, um, testguild.com. Go over there. This is where all of us hang out, at least in the United States. There might be other people out there in other countries. But this, yeah, we're 41,001, including me. Hey, if you guys join, it'll be 41,001. We are automation engineers that build, script, and test. And you can also join in on what we call a heartbeat. Let me see if I got heartbeat up there. Spell it right, Polly. Heartbeat. Heartbeat. I'm looking for this. This is our heartbeat chat. And I will pop that up on my screen over there. We are all nice and friendly. So I'll pop that up there. You should be able to see it on your screen. And that is that guy over here. So cool. Come and join us and learn all sorts of cool automation stuff and see updates from Joe. He has conferences. He has a conference right now. It's our 10-year anniversary, so he is actually doing conferences once a month. And if you happen to be somewhere near Chicago and you'd like to see me in real life, I will be at the IRL automation event. So you can see over here, this one over here, the free AI meetup in Chicago. To be fair, it's not in Chicago. If you're coming in from a plane, don't land at O'Hare or Midway and decide you're going to go into the city. You're going to go the other direction. And since my camera is reversed, yeah, we'd be going the other direction. You want to head for Arlington Heights, as right where I grew up. And he's got all these people over here. Jason Huggins, if you don't know him, he's the guy who created Selenium, along with a few other people. And he is working on a new project called Vidium. So he's going to be out there. Jim Trendido and Paul Smith. I don't know these people, but there's going to get some hands-on instincts. I will probably be going over there, and I might get my own table and show off some cool stuff that I am doing here. So please, 4:30 to 8:30, I'll be there a lot earlier on that day. I'm going to actually go RSVP for that I am going. And yeah, we are, and I can't get out to Minneapolis because I don't have a job, so I can't travel. All right. Was there something else we wanted to do over here? Because I did do a little stuff. Oh, yeah. I was talking about other things you're looking for in your automation tools. They should be able to do CI/CD organization, like organize all your test cases into 3 areas. You want smoke tests, which is about roughly 10% of your test cases. So you can get your results and say, I have got a warm fuzzy after 10 minutes of testing. The sanity test is the next 20%. So you got 10%. Then you got 20% that covers 30% combined, and you can run the sanity test and say, you know what, my warm fuzzy is getting bigger and bigger. And the regression is all the rest of the test, the other 70%. You also might want to organize by features like that. You've got a search, just test cases that do searches, test cases that do logins, test cases that do end-to-end. Get from I'm registering as a brand new user to I bought something and I'm returning something. You should it should be able to work along with GitHub for version control. And there's also TestMu. And lastly, if I'm doing a CI/CD, you should be able to rerun on fail. And over here, I've got the advanced version here. Rerun after suite completion. So this is the one thing I love to do because it'll get you a passing suite overnight. The biggest problem about running all your test suites overnight is that there could be off-peak hour updates, and they occur around about midnight to maybe depending on how long it takes, midnight to 10 p.m. No, I'm saying 10 p.m. Midnight to 12:15, or for an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. During that time, the whole system is down. But if you're running test cases, your system is going to report errors. And not only if it runs, if it, let's say, let's do it this way, if it runs a test and it fails and it runs the test immediately again, it's still going to fail. What I like to do is have an option, in some tools do this, that if the test fails, it fails and gets rerun at the end once the entire thing is completed. Once the entire suite, all the tests are run, then only the failed test cases get rerun. And that will give you a much better passing result over there. The different ways that you want to handle data. Well, we don't want to do hard-coded data. I've got it listed over there, but we probably don't want to do that. We definitely want to have variables. We want to have our passwords masked. We want to be able to have environmental variables to pass them in when we are working from VS Code. And by the way, this isn't just platforms. I'm covering every kind of tool that I know of that's out there. You should be able to handle multiple test user accounts. One of the biggest challenges you have. Oh, I got a new user. I got to give a shout out over there. Hey, we have a new user who's doing a promotion over there. That's nice, but I don't do promotions. So thank you for stopping by, but yeah, no. So they're gone. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to promote your stuff. Go away. So as I was saying, environmental variables, text fixtures, static JSON files, and multiple test user accounts. Oh yeah, the multiple test user accounts. That's a challenge when, let's say, you have one user and you're trying to log in with the same user with the same account, same credentials. You may only be allowed one user login. So in that case, you want to set up multiple, let's say 10 test accounts that all of them can log in at the same time, do whatever it is that they're doing, and not bump into each other. That is probably should be on the advanced side over there. Yep. Seed and tear down strategies on the advanced, basically creating records that you need to work with. One of the places I worked with a long time ago was Redbox. And one of the tests we had to do was that if a person checked out and rented a disk and then didn't return it for 3 days, well, how do you test that when it's, in a minute? The way you do is you generate a record that has been backdated 3 days, and then you wait for the process to go and chug away. And the process occurred every 15 minutes. And then you go back and say, okay, I'm going to go process these. See, did this result actually work? What else we got over here? You should be able to have custom code. What I mean by this, TypeScript, custom code, this means you should be able to add your own functionality to your tool, even if the tool itself doesn't yet have it. There's a few tools that I know that have that, and I think it's a really great feature. Reporting. Console log is the most basic thing. You're sending it out to a message. Let me see if I have VS Code I can bring up over here. See if it's going to decide to come up for me. And we'll pop that up, see where it comes. Popped up on the lower screen, so here it comes. So there we have locator speed. This is a browser that was already open. So there you are. This is my console log over here, and it is outputting information out to my console log to tell me what exactly is going on. I should have something that says AI over there too. In fact, this is a strategy that I was doing. This came from an interview that I had. So I don't think I got the job, so I'm going to go and I'll just mention it to you. Let's go put this up here. So I had the AI create a test. Somebody asked me, how long does it take? What's the fastest way to collect a bunch of elements off of a browser? It really didn't give me much more than that. And uh, yeah, Eva, I'll let you know that the only thing I knew about was that I know CSS is faster than XPath, and I wanted to kind of test it. And so the answer to the question was selecting by ID is the fastest way to get an element. And then I basically had a script write that goes to a website, which is over here. I'm going to show it to you. Secret. I will show you the website. I use a site in order to replicate stuff called, the website is called, come over here, it is called WebSim. And that's exactly what I'm looking at over here, which is WebSim over here. That's WebSim. But I can go over to WebSim AI. It's kind of cool. I'll show you. I'll go show you all my projects over here. So I create all these crazy projects. This is a grade table, and it will calculate the grades in here. The only thing is that it says this is the average, 86.1. Now, if I refresh, it gives me other random numbers, and it intentionally gives me the wrong average. So I'm testing to see if that will come up. So the point of my thing is that I do all sorts of crazy stuff over here. DOM stress testing. So this was taking a look at how many elements are on the page and doing a live count of them. I can even go back in time. This was the first version it came up with and said, okay, I created 4,848 elements. What do you want to do? The current version that's sitting out over here is this one. And this is actually counting up the elements. And what I'm always hoping to do is see that the number of elements that I'm counting on the side matches what the the VS Code does. And this was my list over here. It said how many elements did it find? All of them. Found 78, all of them. Found 33 by ID. And you can see the total milliseconds it took to do this. The average total milliseconds, the average millisecond, it's about 1.09. And then I started doing other validations, not with CSS, but doing it with XPath. I know XPath isn't there. There's our XPath all. So XPath all took about 8.5 seconds to find 64 elements, where I say 8.5 seconds. That's 8.5 milliseconds to find this. And the interesting thing is that the XPath all found 64 when the CSS found 78. So that's interesting. It's not even finding the same number. I mean, how many of these are closely matching? So I had to go through and just find which ones are fastest. I didn't think it really mattered all that much. Because the reason I say that, I understand that maybe you're thinking, oh, it does matter. Speed does matter. It does, except I'm the kind of guy who came from a background using QTP, and that was basic. And if I could get my test cases to run and execute in under 3 minutes, I was happy. Once I got into stuff like Java and TypeScript, those scripts ran at like 3 seconds, or as fast as the page could update. As I said, this is some of the cool stuff that I put in here. My latest one that I'm working on is a funky login, the wonky login. So if I put in a admin as my username and I put in admin as my password and I hit login, everything works perfectly fine, and I can now log out. And just to make sure that that's good, I'm going to hit login one more time. I will put in admin over here, and I'll put in admin and click on login, and we didn't get to the login. It just cleared the screen. Oh, I'm going to try one more time. Admin. Okay, now we're going to get in. Definitely going to get in. I got a blank screen. Probably going to need to refresh that. All right, just to see if this works. Here's admin over here. And I'll put an admin got popped in here, and I'll hit login. And it worked that time. That's an intentional wonky login. And those three things that you've seen are things that I've seen before, except it usually happens 1 out of every 20 to 100 times I do a login. And one of the first things I did in the framework was let's make that a little bit more legit so that if it has a blank screen, we hit a refresh and see if we got back to the login screen or did we get to the log out. What other things do I have that's really kind of cool over here? Well, this is a checklist. I did a couple of days ago. I actually built an American roulette table and added all sorts of cool features to it and just did it just by vibe coding it. I have the Dark Arts Wizard shopping list over here. And this is to try and identify elements by relative element location. You have add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. How do you know which one is the one you want to add? Well, you want to click the add to cart that's near Dragon's Helm. And then you want to be able to check it out. And this is the second portion of this. This is kind of weird. Am I able to interact with this page while the pop-up is on? And I want to go edit that because, let's see. Oh, it can only be closed with the cancel order. Yep. Oh, the reason is because this is not the current version. So I will set it to be the current version. We are going to do a little refresh over there. And I'm going to go click on add to cart and check out. Now, you can scroll this up and down, but you can't click anything that's out there. So that's one of the things I check for, because automation tools, if they are attempting to click on the add to cart over here, they might be able to do it. It's because there is an overlay. This gray is a semi-transparent overlay element. And as a user, you can't do it. But as a automation tool, it can certainly go, hey, I'm going to go click the add to cart button over there. And that's something I look for. That's, like, hey, you should not be able to do that. All right. You seem to be interested enough to hear me keep on yammering. As I said, you can always chat with me. And I'm real friendly. If you're finding this interesting, you must be, because you've been sitting around here for almost half an hour. Let me get down to the bottom over here. You should be able to do basic security. And check that all this works correctly. As I said, I've got little information things that talk about this. And then finally, did I get everything? Yeah, I got reporting. Oh, I was in the middle of reporting. Console logging, notification by email. Nobody really does that anymore. Allure is probably one of the best things that you can use for doing that. And your Allure should have a historical trend dashboard. On the advanced and when you're saying historical trend, Polly, what is historical trend dashboard you're talking about? Fine. Let's go take a look at that. And we'll go look for over here, Allure trend graph. And let's see, this looks to be a good example right here. See if I can jump to the screen. There it is. So this is the a example of a trend over here. See if I can make it a little bit big. So you can see on day 1, they had no test cases. And on day 2, they had 26 test cases, of which 8 of them were not running. They had a pretty good amount of them that were passing. And looks like they had 1, maybe 2 that were failing. And then the next day, 1 of them was fixed. So they had 1 more green. And then it was broken again. And they had 1 more break. So it's a trend analysis of, hey, where are we going? Are we going in the right direction? Or are we going the wrong direction? We want to go in the right direction. All right. I think I've been running here for almost an hour. Uh, and I will give a big shout out to my biggest fan over here, Eva. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this, share it with your friends. Tell everybody, what's going on. It was very nice to say hello. I hope you enjoyed all this. Eva Carter9, I will go follow you. And I think that is all we are going to do for today. And just a reminder of what it was we did today. We did the Candymapper challenge with the Thunders.ai. Did okay. Did all right over there. And it does have a lot of other cool features, just to mention. You can manage your test plans. You can manage your test cases. There, I don't know what test assets are, but I'm pretty sure it's files that we'll upload. Test sets, you can break up your test cases into different test sets, as I was mentioning earlier. So if I am on Thunders AI, we can certainly go under CI/CD and cover all of these. I think we can do that. I did see yesterday there was a work in progress, so I know that's in there. I don't know the integrations on that, and I don't know I'm pretty sure it does a rerun on fail. And you got to see test runs. We can see exactly what was run over here. That's kind of cool. Devices Chromium located in Paris. Cool. And if I go and click on these, what do we get for the results? That basically comes back. I was the owner. I'm the guy who ran it. Here's some console logs. Console logs downloaded. So I will go and open that up and see what the console log looks like. Let's see. This is the console log where it was chugging away going to Candymapper. Well, that's kind of cool. So I guess I could say I can mark off that the reporting has at least a console log. So there you go. What else can I say about it? Let's see what else we had over here. We have analytics. We can see what passed, what failed, which is darn close to what we have historical trends over there. So that's cool. Environments, we have different environments that we can call it. Staging, different apps. Well, they only have the Candymapper website, so that's kind of cool. Personas, we have different types of personas that can go. Oh, you can take I gotta go check this out. If I could get this guy to do that, that would be kind of cool. An accessibility tester goes and checks to see these personas will go and run against your website. I want that. I want to know how to do that. I want to get these guys to do this. Knowledge, X-Ray. Okay, we support X-Ray and Jira. That's cool. Confluence. ClickUp, Shortcut. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. GitHub. I don't see GitLab, but that's okay. And Jenkins, and a whole bunch, and some stuff that's coming soon. I don't know what's coming soon. Labels. You can create your own labels so you can organize your test cases. And we got project settings over here for this project. Page stability settings. Maximum time to wait. Idle time is half a second. 5 seconds to wait for a URL, 10 seconds for an overall page to be stable, and a minimum wait time of 200 milliseconds waiting for chat stability. Kinds cool. I want to see these personas. I will hang out here an extra minute to see how that works. Let me see if I can get it to do it. Accessibility tester. Copy ID. Okay, goals, challenges, cannot. Reporting mode. You know what? It needs a help. It needs a help. I need a help space. That's what's missing out of this whole thing. So all sorts of cool stuff except for, there's help. Help and feedback. Support, news center, help center. What did we call these? This is a persona profile. Personas. AI personas. Persona profile. Accessibility persona. Okay. Meet our personas. To access, just click on the card and open the thing. Supported AI actions. Supporting hover over the profile to show the sub options. Welcome to Thunders. Personas. Product. What are these? These are platforms that automate empower Thunders. What are AI? Thunders provides series pre-built virtual agents, experts in fields like QA, SEO, and all that stuff. Sounds familiar. I know. That sounds like Testers AI. You can select the persona to simulate a specific task, user behaviors, or compliance checks, making your test realistic and comprehensive. How does that work? And how is this priced? Okay. How can I predict and manage my usage? No, I want more of the other stuff. I want to know how the accessibility tester works. Copy the ID. So what if I go to under, I guess, test plans, test cases, and create a new test case. Create an empty test case. Oh, there we are. We can do it with an accessibility tester. Well, that's cool. How do I tell it to build? Staging, cool. No active tab yet. Stat, Chromium. Oh, look at that. Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge. Well, we can go mark off a few of these guys over here. So we're at the top. Safari, Firefox, Edge, Safari. I don't know it's Mac, but I definitely know Windows, Chrome. So we do have that. And let's see. Chrome, Chromium, Firefox, Edge, Safari. So I think I'm missing Chrome. I'll put Chromium up there. And I do know that they don't have the iOS or Android that's coming soon. So that's kind of cool and neat, but I want to know AI step. Check all pages for accessibility. GSEG? I think it's ASEG. For requirements. We'll add that. Let's make it. Let's execute it. Let's do the accessibility tester over there. I'm not even going to time this. I think this is kind of cool. Eva, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You obviously are finding this entertaining and useful. I do actually, kind of reach out and say, hey, chat with me. You chatted with me like 3 times, and we had a couple other people say hi. Maybe Eva's not there. Maybe it is Muhammad. Is that you that's out there? Well, that's on YouTube. No, it's got to be Eva, because Eva, you're coming in on Twitch, and I only have one person viewing, and they're on Twitch, so it's got to be you, Eva. Yeah, please say hello again. Ask me questions. There's one thing, the biggest mistake that you can make in your automation career is to think that asking a question makes you look weak or dumb. It doesn't. There is so much. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Eva, this is 25 years of me playing around and learning about stuff. And I still don't know all of it. And the only reason I know any of it, especially with the AI becoming up here, that it's because I had to ask people, and I made friends, and stuff like that. And like I said, if you have a question, um, definitely shoot it over here. I am going to be shutting down this shortly. And yeah, definitely be friendly like you were. Ask me any questions. All good. Okay. This says check accessibility. It may not know that the test case filter failed substeps collapse beta. It's a beta. Well, I don't know how that works. Discard this session. Keep recording. I don't know. Waiting for next action. Not exactly sure how that works, but I think we said it was a refresh, right? We'll end the session, discard this session, and we will go and add a new step. Say refresh. Let's move that to the top. How do I move that? That does not seem to be able to move. Can I move this to the bottom? There it is. Okay. So there's refresh. And let's add in navigate to. We'll go get my website because I know I had it momentarily ago, or maybe I don't. Well, fine. I'll just go to the website. We'll just go to the website that we want over here. We'll go over here, put that in there. And I'll pop this in here. Navigate to, Control Z, here. Pop that in there. We'll add that in here, navigate this, refresh, and check all pages for accessibility. We'll execute that with our accessibility tester and see what we get. Cool. This did not navigate correctly. Okay, there we go. All right, it's checking all pages for accessibility requirements. All right. All right, this is a problem. What's the reasoning? It says, let's see. It says visual mismatch pop-up challenge modal website. There's some accessibility actions that make it hard for everyone to use for everyone. The text inside the form boxes, like where you would type your name, is very faint and hard to see against the dark background. Also, a large pop-up window appears automatically, which can be confusing or difficult to navigate for people using assistive technologies. This is a hard-coded step. Why did this test fail? So like it's going to ask the AI. Can summarize exact bugs and details. All right. So let's go back over to our test case and tell it. We're going to tell it refresh. We're going to tell it to close. We'll add a step over here. Close the pop-up. Close the modal pop-up window. We'll do that. Add that in there. We'll see where we go from there. All right. Eva Carter, still my best friend over there. Eva, would you like some music? I can add a little bit of music over here if you want. How about daydreaming? I'll bring that lower down. All right. So, said navigate the Candymapper console failed to load resource. Responded with a 404 not found. Oh, that's quite possible because of the slash in there. Let's do that. Save it and execute. So we're preparing this. Detected error 404. Oh, okay, there we go. It did a refresh. Okay, now it's going to close that pop-up. Found it. Was able to close it. Check all pages for requirements. Maybe not check. Maybe we should say navigate to all links on the main page. Do not leave. Do not leave Candymapper. Let's try that. All right, we're going to go and hit restart. So it's going to navigate all around, see what it does. There's the pop-up challenge. We're closing that. And by the way, this does have quite a few different pages. It's a Halloween party where you can host a party with zombies. You can go to launching Candymapper, which gives us a nice spinner. And it literally takes forever to load. That spinner ain't ever going away. You can join us by adding an email and a password or creating an account. Again, I don't sell any of that. Find my candy. We'll ask you 3 questions. And these are limited to 100 characters. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was limited to 2. And this one is limited to much less than 100 characters. And this one is, I think, infinite. Logistically infinite. Yep. Go. Oh, it's clicking on the more. Look at that chug away. It's pretty clever. Okay. So I navigated over here. Okay. So click join us. Failed to load resource. Halloween party. This is the exact matching navigation, and the same text appears elsewhere in the page footer. Okay. So we want to ignore the page footer, I guess. So I went to click more. I went to a couple places and I navigated back to the Candymapper. That's cool. That was pretty smart. Let's time that out and see how long it actually took. We're going to restart that. And I'm going to go back and check and see if any other chit chat. Anybody wants to chat with me? Nope. No more chats from Eva. Got Mateus out there. It seems to be going a little faster. So I wonder about a minute to navigate around. Not too bad. View accessibility report. 2 rules failed. Critical high, 2 are high. Scan, create report. No, we're not going to put that in there, but we'll download a PDF. Let's see what the PDF looks like. Here's my PDF. Does not meet this. 28 rules automatically. Okay. High color contrast. I like that. Auto port. Just auto port. Fixing the followings. Element is insufficient color. Okay. That's a pretty good report. Look at that. Should go against Best Buy. See how it is. So it actually gets a lot more stuff. Hi, link name. Links must have discernible text. Oh, nice. Nice catch. Where did it go to? Dubuque University? How to accept links must have this. Okay, that took me to. Okay, elements contain also to meta view. Zooming and scaling must not be disabled. Okay, that passed. Okay, I got a bunch of other stuff that passes. Now this is cool. All right, pass, 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 pass. So it actually lists all the other things that it passed, and it tells me exactly what failed. The only thing I'm not crazy about is this talking about this link and link name. You need to tell me what the actual link is. The link name is just taking me over to the guidelines for the WCAG. But overall, 28 passes, 2 high things, and that's neat. I'm not sure if that counts as 2. Affected notes 18. Within minimum color thresholds. Okay. And there's 18 items. Okay, so it's failing the issue and it's identifying each one of the islands. It would be really cool. You got a screen capture that goes with it to tell you which one you're looking at. But I guess we're okay. Magic object model. It is telling me data typography. Find my candy it doesn't like. Key site it doesn't like. All of it. That's okay. Then the second one was, I think, the second one was this. Links must have discernible text. You got to tell me what the links are. But, hey, I like that. It also means I can go back over to my thing over here and do Markov accessibility. Exertions. There it is. Accessibility. Got it. Using AI. Cool. I don't know about contract testing. I'm not sure you could test service level response time. The response time is kind of slow. But yeah, this is kind of neat. Should take it against my other sites, but you know what? We've been here for quite a while. So what I'm going to do is bring this to an end this time for real, because I really wanted to see how this works, and this is pretty cool. So Eva Carter, thank you for sticking with me the entire time. You have been awesome. And if you want to see more of my stuff, follow me, share, and I will be doing this on other places all around. And I'm going to let everybody go. Have yourself a great day. I hope that things go well with you, and I hope you all get a really cool dragon clock like I have over here. All right. I've been Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard of Test Automation. You got this far. I'm still looking for a job. Thank you for sticking around with me, watching on the replay. Have yourself a great day. Cheers.